If you're thinking about applying for a startup visa, regardless of the country, or let's say you haven't still decided on the specific country that you want to go to, this is a harsh reality that you need to understand about startup visas, and hopefully it will allow you to approach obtaining these visas with a clearer and more realistic mindset. So let's get into it. So, before I actually go and talk about the issue in this video, I will give a brief introduction about me in case you don't know who I am. I'm a business consultant and I focus on early ventures, funding, communications, and all aspects of commercial elements within a business. And my focus is on migrant entrepreneurs. So, foreign founders who want to move abroad and set up a business abroad. I moved to the UK when I was 17 on a student visa. When I finished my master's degree, I launched my own property technology startup. Before 2020, I scaled that venture to over 30 UK cities, and we almost raised a funding round as well. But thanks to the pandemic, I was forced to shut the business down. Afterwards, I transitioned to consulting, and now I help migrant entrepreneurs with all the commercial aspects of obtaining business visas across several countries, which you can find all the details on my website. So that's me. Now let's get into the issue. You see, one misconception that foreign founders have is that in order to qualify for visas, they just need a good concept, a concept that is viable and perhaps slightly innovative. But that's wrong because those elements they're valid. So yeah, those things are actually required. But what's more important is that, and this is where it gets tricky because I've always said that immigration and entrepreneurship, they're just two incompatible concepts. Okay. And the reason is that immigration requirements generally have these rigid, specified, milestones. Whereas with entrepreneurship, the number one thing that you need is flexibility. And, every entrepreneur's path is different. Some may begin to generate revenue after a year, some may generate revenue after 5 years. And by revenue, I mean a profit, not necessarily a turnover. So that this is really important because a lot of immigration policies, the way they're set, is that they're set in a way that the entrepreneur benefits the host country. Okay. And you may go and establish a business and gain some traction and everything, but you may not be able to remain in that country because you simply don't meet the further requirements in line with immigration down the line. So basically visa extensions and permanent residence. And it's very important for you to understand this before you even consider going into this path. That a lot of times, you need to scale the venture in such a way that may not make sense from an entrepreneurship point of view, but it still needs to satisfy the immigration requirements. Examples include primarily job creation. A lot of these visas, let's say for example the UK's innovator founder visa, they require entrepreneurs to create jobs. Now, the good thing about the UK is that it's an optional factor. So it doesn't necessarily have to be. It didn't used to be in the old days. So the visa that I was on previously, I had to create jobs, and I did create 4 jobs. So it's very important for you to understand that a lot of times the way the policies are set are in a way that may not be financially efficient and sensible, but you need to understand and you need to balance this out. Okay, because those policies, they're designed in a way that benefits the host country, as I said, not necessarily your business and scaling your business. So I guess that's pretty much the point of this video. I like to keep it short, but an issue of mindset, because a lot of people, they become frustrated when they see the requirements and they think, okay, well, this doesn't really make sense from a business perspective. And it doesn't have to, because you need to understand the rationale and the logic behind policy making by countries, and they set and design those policies in a way that benefits them. So whether through foreign investment or job creation, or let's say obtaining IP rights. So very important to understand this. Now, if you need help exploring your global business mobility options, or if you have a specific country in mind and you need help with the commercial aspects, feel free to get in touch with me via my website. I hope that helps, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.